Welcome to the January PLC meeting. We are halfway through the year and it's once again time As you can see from our district's data, our students are doing well. The goal now is to do better. Even though we are above the state average in all subject areas, we still have students who are not making the progress we need them to make. And that's why we all have committed to student learning and professional practice goals. It's the end of the first semester, a perfect time to stop and check how you're doing on your goals. Check 1 and 2 both have to do with your educator effectiveness responsibilities. Today, we will review what you need to have completed at the mid-year for your PPG and your SLO. There are 2 educator effectiveness tasks that need to be completed by the next early release day, February 17th. Task 7, complete your PPG mid-year review. This task helps you analyze how you're doing on your professional practice goal. Are you making progress? Do you want to continue with your goal or make a change? Remember that this year you should have entered your PPG into a shared Google Doc found in Google Classroom. That same document should have the mid-year questions on it. If you've submitted your PPG in the fall, you may need to request that it be reshared with you. If you didn't submit it, you should be able to open and edit it. Task 8, SLO. Using at least 2 data points that you've collected over the last semester, complete your mid-year SLO review. Again, this year, you completed your SLO in a shared Google Doc found in Google Classroom. This document should have mid-year questions on it as well. Task 9, Meeting. The meeting does not have to be completed until March 29th, and it is only mandatory for those staff members who are on the formal evaluation cycle this year. If you are not up for evaluation this year, you may choose to meet with your principal or me, but this is not mandatory. Task 10, Data. Remember that PLC meetings need to include discussions about your data. For your SLO, you should be entering your SLO data into a spreadsheet. You will use this data at the beginning, middle, and end of the year to evaluate your progress toward meeting your SLO. Check 3 is for your PLC goals. Check to make sure you and your team have been working to complete your curriculum maps. You need to have a map for every class or course taught. Each map should be shared with me so I can include them on the curriculum website. They need to be in a Google Doc so that when you make revisions each year, the website has the most recent changes. I have shared with your PLC Point people a spreadsheet that shows which maps are completed and which ones still need to be shared with me. I'll be checking your progress again at the end of the year, and if you need help, let me know and we can meet to get them done. Just a quick reminder, curriculum maps serve 2 purposes. They lay out the agenda for the semester or year so you and your students know where you're going. And they help other teachers, such as special ed teachers, who need to modify or pull out students. They also need to know where you're going so that they can help special ed kids get there as well. Check 4 is an instructional goal. Administrators have been busy observing classrooms, and hopefully by now, most of you have received some feedback on how well you are communicating clear objectives to your students, engaging students in high-level thinking tasks, and asking questions and promoting student discussions. Last year, we focused on asking better questions. This year, we focused mainly on how to better engage your students. This can be done using personalized techniques along with the latest technology. Today, during the mini slate conference, you'll have the chance to hear from great speakers from our district, surrounding districts, and from the nationally known keynote speaker, Kevin Honeycutt. I am certain that you'll walk away today filled with new ideas and be ready to try them on Monday. Remember that you're required to attend at least one keynote and one seminar today. If you are facilitating or you're part of the math grant, these requirements are different. We are already planning for the seminars for the February early release and the March in-service days. Last week, you received a survey. The results of this survey were used to create a schedule for February and will be used to plan for March. Please review February's seminar schedule and sign up ASAP so the presenters can plan. And here's an update on spring state testing. The ACT and ACT work keys remains the same as last year. The two-day testing will be for all 11th graders on February 28th and March 1st, and it will still be a paper and pencil test. ACT Aspire for all 9th and 10th graders is similar to last year. The window for the ACT Aspire is April 24th through May 26th. The Aspire is an online test and is a predictor of how our students will perform on the ACT. In 3rd through 8th grade and 10th grade social studies, the test will be the Wisconsin Forward Exam. It is an online test and will be given to all students in grades 3 through 8 and 10th grade for social studies only during the window of March 20th through May 5th. Special ed students who use the Essential Element Standards will be given the Dynamic Learning Maps exam instead of the Wisconsin Forward Exam or the ACT. So once again, it's time to get out your dipsticks and check your oil. Is your dipstick indicating that you're performing at optimal levels? For instance, are your students making gains? Are your curriculum maps getting done? Are you improving your practice as indicated by mini observations? Or are you running on empty? Your engine's working hard, but your students still aren't making gains. You're trying to improve your curriculum map, but you just can't figure out how. If this is the case, your PLC team members are there to help. Check with your colleagues to figure out where the problem might lie and brainstorm some possible solutions. It is also possible that you filled your oil too full and now you're overflowing. This could be a positive or a negative experience. First, let's think positively. If your students are performing better than expected, share your successes with the people around you. On the not so positive side, if this is your personal oil and you're overwhelmed with the amount of work that you can't get done, step back and find a way to siphon off some of your load. A great book to read is called Never Work Harder Than Your Students. Last summer, our district offered this as a book study, which you could take for stipend or for credit. This again will be offered this summer. And with that, I leave you with some inspiration. If you are persistent, you will get it. If you are consistent, you will keep it. In other words, my advice to you is to be persistent on learning and trying as much as you can to improve your practice, while keeping consistent on the practices that are already working in your classrooms. Remember, you're the change maker, and our kids are dependent upon your success.